I been kicking it with Coog. 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 Got a lot of shit to lose. I been kicking it with Coog. 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 How'd I end up on the news? Ain't been following the rules. Ain't been following the rules.
I just love listening to at least the first 20 seconds of the Kickin' It intro.
Oh, that was hard.
Thank you. Shout out to Michael Aristotle for doing that. Shout out to Willie Hendricks for doing that as well. I was just saying to you, like, off air, I wanted, like, an R&B one.
Really?
Yeah.
That was dope, though.
I appreciate that. I want like, a new one every, like, 3 seasons.
Oh, yeah.
I want niggas to think, like, oh, the budget's crazy. They got another new song. Damn.
You need to make a whole album track list once you get, like, different ones.
Yo, I should, right? And
Yeah.
just put it all on DSPs? Mm-hmm. I'm definitely going to do that. If this goes well, we got to get a Taylor Jasmine one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Can we get, is that in the budget? Is that in the realm of things? Can we do it?
Yeah, we'll talk after
We'll
the
talk
show.
about
We'll
it. Say
talk.
that. Welcome to another episode of Kickin' It. I'm here with Taylor Jasmine, who just put out her newest album, Outage. Tell us all about it, please.
Oh, my gosh. Well, thank you for having me.
Of course.
First and
Congratulations,
foremost.
by the way.
Thank you. Honestly, there's so much to say about Outage. Okay. I dropped it January 5th, 2024, and I threw a listening party for it. That was my first ever listening party.
How was it?
That was so much fun, honestly, but it was nerve-wracking, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was planning it by myself. Next time I do a listening party, it's gonna be more, like, people helping me. See, I'm a person that, like, I don't really like asking for help a lot, but I'll ask, like, people that is needed, like my cameramen, videographers, like, venue people, but, like, as far as, like, setting up and stuff, like, I'll try to do everything myself. But as far as Outage, creating that project was just a time of my life that was very dark, or I was very out of it. I was lost. I literally, like, had an outage in my life. So I thought that was a perfect title to name the phase of life I was in.
How long were we creating this project?
Honestly, I've always been recording since the age of 14. So I'm 23 now, but Outage was, honestly, the year of 2023, I was creating a lot of music, and I was working with Mike Kalombo, who executive produced it. So when it came about Outage, I took a hiatus. Like, if you noticed on my streaming platforms, the last album I dropped was, like, 2020.
Oh, so it's been a minute.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of also hints Outage, because it's like I was not dropping music like that. Because I was trying to find myself as well, like, as an artist and just as a young woman. So that's kind of where I was at.
And at, like, what point in the recording process were you finally like, oh, I have enough records, this is what it sounds like? At what point where you were just like, this is it, this is going to be the project, we finally landed on it?
Honestly, I've always had, like, an archive of music, but when it was time, like, me and Mike, we were just on this, like, phase of, like, okay, we need to drop an album. Like, it's time to give your listeners or supporters music again. Mm-hmm. And we already had some music already done and created in 2023. Even in 2022, we was recording as well. We created some new ones over the course of the years, but it just felt like that time again in 2023. Like, we was like, okay, we're dropping this project. And it was crazy. It was supposed to come out before 2024, but we just wanted more time to really push it. So here it is.
And it's crazy to think that you haven't dropped music in 3 years at this point. Well,
an album.
Well, I'm sorry, an album rather
Yeah.
than like a full-length project. Where in between that, I feel like you've been performing. I feel like you're always performing. I've been to at least 3-4 Taylor Jasmine shows, and I feel like you're always performing new material as well. So in that meantime, were you using those performances to kind of see, like, okay, the crowd really likes this music, oh, they resonate to that? Like, what was that experience like?
Honestly, I'm glad I kept performing during that time. So yes, I had an outage, but I was always, like, still working. Mm-hmm. But I did have a point in time where during my outage, I wasn't performing as much, but I got back to it. So yes, I was performing a lot, and yes, I would, like, perform songs and be like, okay, I'll see the crowd's reaction and things like of that sort. But I've always just been doing something. Like, I don't think I'm ever not doing anything. So yes, I have an outage, but, like, I've always been a person where I'm not going to, like, give up, even at times where I felt like I had to. So
talk about that, like, getting over not wanting to give up. As a creative, I feel like that's what we don't talk about enough. Like, all the times we wake up, we're like, yeah, fuck this, I don't want to do this no more.
I know, and honestly, okay, have you seen that post where it's like the person digging for diamonds or something like that? and it's like you're right there close to the big diamond, and he just turns around. And it's like that's how I look at my life. I'm like, I'm not gonna stop because one day it's gonna be that big thing, even though it's already in front of me. Like we're already living in it. But honestly, those times where I feel like giving up, there's always like a tiny little voice in the back of my head telling me like your purpose is not over or your mission is not completed on Earth, and you still have so much to do. So I honestly never let myself. I don't ever see myself giving up music. Like I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Like I'm never gonna give up. I've always been the type of person. Even my personality trait. Like I'm very determined and. Kind of stubborn sometimes, so I'm like I don't see myself giving up, but there's been times where oh my gosh, it felt like it, but I never stopped, and I try to keep good people around me to keep me focused and to remind me of who I am and what I have accomplished thus far. So yeah.
How important is that, keeping great people around you? Because one thing I will notice that, like, about every time I see Taylor, she always has all her sisters with her, like a really dope collective of, like, just artistic people. Talk about the people you keep with you and how important that is.
Honestly, keeping a good group of people around you is very important because over the course of years, I have lost a lot of people that I thought was actually going to be in my life forever. And I realized when I started to look at it like, okay, everyone has their time in your life, whether it be a blessing or a lesson. And yes, I love having my sisters around me. Like, that's like, when you see me, you're going to see my sisters, or you're going to see my close friends with me. And literally, I just love having my group of people with me. And it's not a large group of people. And I know a wide variety of different people that do all sorts of things. But I do like to have, like, my close friends around me. I think that's one of the things that make me happy when I go out.
I gotta tell you about the introduction to you. So I met you at a Finders Keepers show. It was a show I hosted. We were on together at aisle 5. And I remember just like we were already following each other. We had conversed like super quickly, like right before the show. But I think Stu, you were with me. It's she goes up. I introduce her, right, and it's like the crowd goes from like super mixed, a bunch of dudes, bunch of girls, to like every pretty girl came directly to the front. And like 10 other people you walked in were right in the front. And I was like, oh shit, we're about to get something. This is crazy. And it was just like a superstar performance. And that was the moment where I was like, oh, this girl's a superstar.
Thank you.
And so talk to us about like, you know, getting your performance down pat, kind of building that confidence, like having so much confidence that it brings all the girls to the front too, because that was super important. That's one of the coolest things I've seen in the show. And I host a lot of shows. Yes,
honestly, that was a dope show that you hosted.
I appreciate that. Shout out to Finders Keepers.
Right, shout out to Finders Keepers. That was a great first meeting with you.
Definitely.
Honestly, how I get to perform or how I prepare or become that, what you're talking about, that was just years and years of work, because seeing me, when a person that sees me perform, you may have not even know, like, I'm a shy person. Or, like, I used to be really, really shy. I didn't want to sing for nobody.
Really?
Yes, as a young kid, I remember, like, all my sisters would sing and be, like, I have a very extroverted type of family. Mm-hmm. And I was just very shy. Like, I would love to read chapter books. I was obsessed with dogs. Like, I still am. So it's just, like, singing, I always loved to do it. Like, I have so many kid videos of me singing, but I never was out there with it. And so when I see myself grow into my performances, like, I analyze myself literally every performance. I'll watch it back like 10,000 times and know, like, okay, I know. Everyone can be telling me I did so great on a performance, and I'll be like, I know I could have did better. Like, in my head, like, I just know, like, certain things to do on the next performance. Mm-hmm. And I think that's every artist. But honestly, artist development, like, when I was working with Mike Kalombo, he helped me a lot with artist development and performing and taking control over stages. And also, like, even when I was on that TV show, when I, just over the course of performing, like, you get to learn every audience, and it just helps you perform, become a greater performer. And also, another thing I do before I perform, I visualize what I'm going to look like. Like, every time I have a concert coming up, I'll just sit there and play my set, soundtrack, and I'll just literally visualize everything and what I'm going to do. And it actually comes out the same thing. It's just crazy. It's like almost like manifesting.
I was going to say, it's like real life manifesting.
Yes. Like, it literally happens the same way. Or I'll literally, one of my other things I do, I'll take, I watch a lot of live shows on YouTube. Mm-hmm. All my favorite performers, I watch all of their concerts.
And, what are some of your favorite performers?
Rihanna, Doja Cat, who else? Janet Jackson, Aaliyah. Who else do I watch? I like Billie Eilish. So I watch people like that that inspire me, and I'll just see how they perform and see how they control the audience. And I'll try to, take from them and just make it my own as well. So, yeah.
And you mentioned being on a show. When I was doing research, I had no idea. Can you tell us more about this TV show that you were on? Talk about the experience for those if they've never watched it. Like, what was the premise? What happens if you won? How far did you get in the show too? Okay. Now I gotta watch it. I gotta watch the show.
Well, yeah, you can watch it if you want, but
should I not watch it?
Honestly, I feel like I've grown as a artist. So I mean, if you watch it, it's just like, it's like almost watching like your like childhood videos in a way. It's like, oh my God, why did I used to do that? Or it's like, that's how I feel when I watch it. It's not a bad show. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I thank Lifetime for having me on there, and Timbaland, and the producers of the Pop Game. Yep. So yes, honestly, over the course of years when I started dropping music early on, like, it was like 2016, I think, when they reached out to me. Or was it was something, 2017 is when the show aired. Mm-hmm. So I was filming it in 2016. Yeah, they reached out to me under like an Instagram comment, and I didn't think it was real at first, but it actually was. They wanted me to audition for their show that it was upcoming, because at that time they just had did the Rap Game. They had like a few seasons of it, and my producer was actually on that show as well. What
a small world.
So yeah, it was just like they were doing that, and they tried to do like a sequel or spinoff, or with Timbaland and all pop singers instead of rappers, and based in California instead of Atlanta. And so when I finally got on the show after a course of Zoom calls and auditions, they flew me out to LA, and I was out there for 3 months, basically living out there in this big mansion.
That's fine.
And getting to work with, I think it was like 4 other contestants. Don't quote me. I think it's 4 or 5. I don't know.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
It was years ago.
For sure.
But that experience was crazy. Honestly, I would never do another reality TV show again unless I'm executive producing it. I would never be like a cast member on one. That's just not my thing after doing that show. And if I had to do it all over again, I would say things a lot differently. I think that I was a little portrayed differently on that show, not as well as I would have liked. But it's a learning experience, most definitely, and I got to perform a lot of different places and meet a lot of different people. And it actually helped me grow a lot as an artist.
You probably learned a lot of great recording tactics as well, just kind of being around all these different people.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I learned my recording tactics before the show.
Oh, talk to him.
Because the show, we recorded, but it was it's reality TV, so we're not really recording. So, we did most of the real, true recordings for the songs afterwards.
Gotcha.
After the show was over. But, during filming, we'll record, and, of course, it'll make it seem like on TV that we had a whole full-blown session. It was not like that. So, but it was still fun.
The more you know about reality TV.
Right.
That's still really cool, though. When I was doing my research, I was like, no way. I would have.
I know. Yeah, that was fun. It was fun. I loved being in LA.
And being in a mansion, that must have been pretty cool.
Right. That was really fun. So I have a lot of experience. I think me and the castmates, we still follow each other online. So it's all love.
I mean, honestly, that was one of the cool things I learned. But just kind of seeing where you are now, I feel like the role you're taking is way better. I feel like you have a lot more control over the music. You get to do whatever you want, drop when you want. You dropped January 4th,
exactly.
Top of the year.
Right.
No one could tell you no, and you just did it. How's the feedback been to the album so far? The album's incredible, by the way.
Thank you.
The album's very, very good.
Oh my gosh, yes. No, honestly, everyone tells me they love it. I haven't had any negative comments on it. Not that I'm looking for it, but it's everyone that I know has told me they have a favorite song. Everyone has their own favorites. Everyone is still playing it and listening. I get new tags every day on Instagram about people listening to it. So honestly, my goal is just to keep promoting it, and I'm just in this phase of my Outage era. So yeah.
What does this year look like now that we dropped the album? Is it more shows, potentially a mini tour? What are the next steps? You started the year on a heavy note.
Right.
What does the rest of 2024 look like for you?
Right. I did start the year off.
With a whole album, that's major.
A whole album, a listening party. I started it off fun, on a good note. I love that I started it off that way because I feel like I just set the tone for how I want my year to be. Honestly, I want my year to be very just work filled, very focused. This is probably the most focused I'm gonna be like out of all my other years. Like I'm gonna be really just about consistently pushing my music, and I think that my followers have seen that thus far. But yes, more shows, most definitely, more visuals, more cool collaborations on Instagram and with other artists and creatives in Atlanta or wherever they may be. More interviews, more photo shoots. And honestly, every year I do something different than I didn't do the last year. So honestly, I don't be planning my years out, but I'll plan them like, I'll halfway plan them. Like, okay, I know what I'll be doing consistently, but things like randomly come to me and I'll be like shocked. And that's all because of the work I've put in. So honestly, how I've been doing my career this far, I attract a lot of the things that has happened to me. It's kind of crazy.
Seems like manifestation is really big in your life.
No, it really is. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I kind of just dreamed about all of this, like, thus far. So.
Now you mentioned you started like recording at 14, like making music at 14. Was that like at what point in life where you're like, oh, this is what I want to do forever? You said you've been dreaming about it. Like, do you remember the moment when you were like, no, this is the thing I'm gonna do forever?
Honestly, I've been wanting to be a singer or an artist since I was a young kid. I remember 6 years old. I was just too shy. Like, I'm telling you, I was very, very shy to the point where cheerleading and dance is what took me out of that, like, shyness where I couldn't sing for nobody. Like, of course, my sisters knew, like, we all love to do it and stuff like that. There's so many kid videos of us at a young age just dancing and singing and performing. And I think it was 13 years old when I was like, okay, I'm about to take this seriously. Like, I'm about to audition for this girl group. I'm about to put myself out there and just do it. I was so, honestly, when I first took myself seriously on music, and it was when I had to audition for the girl group, I made a whole other Instagram page just so the people I knew didn't know I was going to sing.
Really?
Yes. Like, it was just crazy how, like, I didn't want nobody to know. And people ended up finding out anyway, so I just rolled with it. Honestly, everybody through my middle school, high school life, they knew me for singing. I was very just popular because of my music.
Yeah, it's a good thing, though. People have always kind of, like, fuck with the idea of making music.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who were making music in high school. Niggas were like, why are you doing this? So it's like the fact that people kind of always have followed you and saw the trajectory, that has to feel good.
Yeah, right.
If I remember correctly, when I met your mom at Dope Concepts Check, and she made music as well, right? Or you said she can sing?
Well, my mom made music back in the day with, like, I don't know if you know who Chub Rock is.
Yeah, I do, actually.
Yeah, it's like an old, like, back in the day, she did make music. She has this record, but she didn't, like, pursue it, like, and go long term with it. So at some point she just stopped doing it. But yeah, my mom always sang in the house. You know, all my sisters can sing, like everybody.
Is that where the singing bug came from, you think? Just kind of like
right.
Your mom sing all the time around the house?
Right. Maybe that's where it came from, I think, because everybody in my house would sing, and she would sing all the time, and for people, even my dad can low-key sing. So.
For real?
Yes, he likes Frank Sinatra.
You got to do a song with the whole family. That's kind of crazy.
God.
Like one song for the next album? Hey,
maybe not the next album, but maybe we might do a little funny YouTube video one day
maybe like
if it works out.
Christmas album, you feel me?
Maybe. Definitely my little sister, Chrissy. She wants to start becoming an artist, making music. So me and her might collab on something.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And now altogether there's 4 of you guys.
Yes.
You guys all can. That's crazy.
No, yeah, it's crazy.
Are you the oldest sister?
No, I'm the middle.
I'm a middle child too.
Yes, middle children. It's like I don't know. We go through a lot.
We do.
Yes.
We're literally in the middle of everything.
Literally.
It's an interesting show.
Yes, but I love I love my family though.
Now, like I said, if you ever go to a Taylor Jasmine show, which you guys all need to go to one because she's incredible, you'll see the whole family in front. It's fire.
Yeah. I tend to invite everybody I know, like I've ever met when I have a performance.
As you should.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all need to come to this, especially my family. Like, I love having them there. So.
Well, does that help with the overcoming the shyness? Does that pop up still, like just being shy, or at this point have you performed so much you're just like?
Honestly, the shyness goes away as soon as I step on stage. My mom
Same.
or I think my grandmother used to tell me, "Oh my God, you're like Michael Jackson." Not exactly like him, of course. He's a whole different artist, and I have much love to him. But more like he was very shy and meek when he had when you meet him, and then you get on stage and it's like, whoa, like, is that you?
It's a whole new person.
Yeah, it's like a whole new person. So in that sense, that's where they made that comparison. More like when I get on stage, it is like a different energy from me more than what people experience from me in person. So honestly, them being there is a plus, but honestly, my shyness, I would still perform the same way even if they weren't there, you know? So,
As
yeah.
you should.
Yeah.
There's probably times where they might not be able to make something.
Exactly.
Especially with like how much shows you're doing at this point. Like,
Right.
It's a big show that they might not be able to make it to.
Exactly. As I come up in this industry, it's gonna be more and more shows that, and it's already started to be like that. Like my mom and my dad can't make everything nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So I make it a point to really have my sisters there. So yeah.
What are some of your personal favorites off this album and why?
Okay, my personal favorites. Honestly, they're all my favorites.
As they should be.
But it's like children. It's like I don't want to choose a favorite. But if I choose the ones, because honestly, I get a new favorite every week. Like I might be playing this song for 1 week and be like, this is my favorite. But then like it changes the next week. But currently, I want to say my all-time favorite for this album. I really like Poison, and I really like I Wish I Could. And Cosign, of course, is my favorite. But those two, I feel like they really hit. Oh, and Voice Memo at the end. See, it's too much.
It's a very good outro.
Oh, thank you. You know what's crazy about that? A Voice Memo, I was playing the piano on it.
For real?
It wasn't actually recorded in a studio. So.
I couldn't even tell.
Right.
Like it sounded really good.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I made that. That Voice Memo actually was created like a few years ago during the time I had the outage. And I was just remember being in my mom's room. I actually have a video of me recording on my phone. And I was just playing the piano and I just started writing. Yeah, so what was I going to say? Yeah, those are my favorites. I honestly, all of them are my favorites, but.
So far, I think Everyday Drum is my favorite.
That's one of my favorite songs to perform, not gonna lie.
Really? Why is that?
I can dance to it, and honestly, Cosign has made it up there too for one of my favorite songs to perform. I think I performed that maybe twice now.
I've seen you perform it at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
You performed at the Clark show for sure.
Yes.
I feel like you did it at the last show I saw you before that too. I don't know if that's
really
concepts though. I've seen you perform a few times at this point.
Yeah, honestly, it's making its way up to my favorite. It's gonna be on my set list like every time.
It's crazy too, like how like infectious Cosign is and how like catchy it is. Like we're listening to it in the car on the way here, and it's still stuck in my head. It's been stuck in my head all day because I've been listening to the album the last 2 days. Because you dropped January 4th. We both. I'm sorry, 5th. You had the listening party the 4th. So we had to accomplish the 4th. I'm just like fuck.
I know.
It's all good. I was sad I missed it.
No, it's okay. I was sad I missed your show.
No, it's okay. We're gonna do a bunch more things together. But as the interview was coming up, I was just like, yo, I can't wait to just have our album in like rotation and have nothing else to do besides just kind of focusing on it. And my first listen, I was like, yo, this is a very easy listen. Like it ended, and I was like, that's incredible. It's super cohesive. I love a cohesive project. Like that's my favorite thing about listening to albums, how like they start, how they end, how they make you feel. There's never a dull moment. There's never a moment in the album where I was just like, I kind of want to skip this, or one with this said like no song ever overstayed its welcome. Like talk about like the sequencing of it and just how important it was to have a cohesive project.
Honestly, when it comes to putting together a project, I usually leave that in the hands of whoever executive produces my album. I feel like it's very important for them to really have their energy and input inside of my album. So I put all my trust into whoever is curating it. So Mike Kalombo, he curated that whole album, put every song and lined it up the way it was supposed to. Of course, I helped write the songs and I recorded them and I did my due diligence, but he curated it. He did that. So,
was it purposeful to have like just no features on this one? It's just all you. Like, was that purposeful? It was just kind of like it's been a while since I dropped a full-length project. I'm giving it all of me.
Yeah, it's purposeful because I feel like I've been doing music since I was 14 in the course of different instances of whether it be in a group or be on TV. It's more like coming back. Like here I am and I'm about to keep giving y'all consistent music now. I'm not going to have another outage too.
That was it.
That's my outage and now I'm here. Like I'm about to really give y'all music and show y'all like I'm really focused and this is what I want to do forever. So yeah, that's why I had no features. It's just I'm giving y'all me and yeah, I love doing that.
Who are some artists from the scene that you do want to work with? Because that's one thing I know about you as well. You show love to a lot of people. You're friends with a lot of other artists as well, which is dope. Like, who are some people that we can expect you to work with? If there are any.
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of different artists I like, and I love watching different artists come up in this seen, and I've met so many throughout just me being out in Atlanta and going to different networking events and things of that sort. Honestly, 2023 was the first year I was really just outside, really meeting a lot of people and I'm gonna go into who I might be potentially working with or want to, but it's just more like I used to be very in a bubble where I was just strictly work and music. I didn't have a social life. I didn't have friends. I didn't have none of that because I was just very focused on my craft. And now I learned
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, now I learned it's cool and important to have a balance. Like I've met so many people and gotten more farther in my career just by the people I've met. So honestly, I mean, you could expect a project from me and Clark D.
Oh shit.
Yes, and so.
Like him producing, him rapping on it?
Okay,
I need more information. I love Clark, by the way.
I know I love you too, Clark. Hey, if you're watching this. But
Clark better watch this.
Right, you're going to watch this. So, like, yeah, Clark is dope. Dope rapper, dope engineer, producer. Like, he's so talented. And we met at the Finders Keeper show, of course. And it became so natural how we just started working together. And we have, like, maybe five songs under our belt right now together.
Wow.
And it's not him rapping on it just yet. It's just songs he's produced for me because he wants to produce a EP for me. So that's going to come out maybe this year, maybe next year, who knows.
Wow.
And we were talking about maybe doing a joint project too together. So that's just in the air. And honestly, there's a lot of different artists. Maybe I can't really name too many right now. But there's a lot of different artists that I like that's coming up. I like Sad Boy. I like what she's doing. I like even my friend Vivian. Shout out to you. She's starting her artistry up now. Will Hill's doing his thing.
Will Hill's hard.
Who's another? I'm trying to think. There's so many other artists that I can't think of them right now.
No, you're good. You gave me exclusive. We're getting a Clark D. Taylor Jasmine project. That's the exclusive I needed.
No, yeah.
No,
Y'all get in that. And I played a little sneak peek of a song at my listening party too.
Going back to your listening party, what was that like? Seeing people's real life reactions to the music that you spent so long curating, and like, what was that like? You said it was your first ever listening party. So, like, now that it's over, now that the stress of throwing gets away, like looking back at it, what are some key moments from that?
Honestly, looking back at it, I did not. That was my first listening party, and I did not know that many people would. And I know that's like, okay, really, like you do your thing, you don't think that many people would come, but no, honestly. Sometimes I'll be underestimating myself. I'm like, whoa. I literally posted it was promoting it, and I already had like 300 RSVPs. And I'm like,
shit.
I'm like, whoa, like the venue's not even that big. Like it's upstairs, downstairs, but it ended up having to be both floors because at first it was just one floor. So I was really proud. I was like, it was a shock factor. Honestly, I'm still kind of low-key shocked off of it because I'm like, wow, like my first ever listening party and seeing all those people show me love, like that means a lot, and especially we need that as upcoming artists. Because support is really free. So the fact that many people came out and showed me love for my listening party, it really meant a lot to me. And I'm still soaking it in.
Bro.
So I love each and every one of you who came out to support me. That means a lot. And there's going to be more listening parties to come. So
I hope you get a show, like a full-length show for the album as well.
Honestly, yeah, that could be a great idea. Maybe I need to start working on that right now.
You definitely need it. Like I would love to witness you just kind of perform the whole album in its entirety. And like explain things and explain like why, like what these records mean and whatnot.
You're right. Thank you for the idea.
Nah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna be there. I'm so sad I missed the listening party.
So it's okay. It is okay. You were there in spirit, and I know you doing your thing out here too.
We trying to do dope things.
Yeah,
actually,
dope concepts.
we trying. No, it was really dope for that. Like when I was telling the homies, I was like, yeah, no, she has a listening party the same day, and it's like if you can't make it to my thing, go to her thing. It's like just to see so many people doing great things in the city's fire, and that's like one of the beauties of living here. Like I'm not being from here and being around this energy's fire.
Oh no, yeah, Atlanta energy is fire.
It's some of the best. Like, what would you say is different about the energy here than like being in LA since you had some experience out there?
Yeah, honestly, I would probably need more experience out in LA, but okay, from me living out there, mind you, I'm like older now, so I feel like I would have a different energy when I go back out there. Mm-hmm. But being in Atlanta, everything is just very like, you gotta have it together. Mm-hmm. You gotta be doing something. Everybody at least does something in Atlanta. Like everyone, and I feel like that's the thing. It's like, what do you do? I feel like everybody asks that.
That's the common question.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what do you do? Like, what do you? It's like you got to do something. Like, you can't just be out in Atlanta looking a certain way and not do anything. Whether it be a model or you're a creative director, videographer, something, an artist or anything. So I feel like that's the thing. I feel like it's very status driven, confidence. Because a lot of people think, it's like Atlanta got this thing where everybody think they're a celebrity. Like, I love it though. It's like everybody, you should have that confidence about you.
Not everyone pops their shit out here.
Yes. So when you come to Atlanta, I feel like you gotta, I honestly like have your stuff together. And LA is like that, but I feel like it's that on steroids. Like, I feel like they judge you almost if you don't look a certain way.
And
like,
I could believe that.
Yeah, LA is a little bit more, I wouldn't say fake, but it's just a little more like, it's a little bougie. Like, it's just like everybody, I feel like people more gonna like turn their head away from you if you don't look a certain way. Where Atlanta, like, okay, yes, you have to look a certain way, but it's still more a sense of down to earth still when it comes to like down south. So yeah, that's what I feel.
If someone who watches this interview, hopefully, right, we get you some new fans, what's the first song you think they should listen to by you? If they're gonna just shuffle the album, which I think is crazy, listen to albums in sequence. However, if you have one opportunity to put someone on to one song, what song would it be?
Oh my goodness!
I'm putting the pressure on you.
Well, one song is crazy.
Yeah, one song. This will be the introduction song to you.
Y'all go listen to. It has to be off my Outage album because it's out now.
Yeah,
so.
Of course. Get the streams for it. Yeah,
right. So if you don't know me and you want to listen to a first time song of mine, I would start off with Everyday Drama. Like that's
my favorite, by the way.
Yeah, I would say you could start off with that, a little dance vibe, and then go into the rest of the music that you find with me. Mm-hmm.
What are some songs you can't wait to perform that you haven't off this album?
Poison. I wish I could. What's another one? I like What We Could Be. What's another one I haven't performed really? That's pretty much it. Those are like the three I'm really excited to perform. Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly excited to hear the whole album and just kind of see like what it ends up like feeling and looking like.
Oh yeah.
I feel like just knowing you're gonna have the dance moves, the choreography is gonna be fun.
No, I can't wait. Like that's one of my loves too. Like I can't wait till as I grow into my career, I get more into like the set design or like how the shows are gonna go, like curated, like everything, like because I love like just putting stuff together like that too. So, I can't wait.
Nah, we can't wait to see it for sure. Now we talked about like a potential like project with Clark D. Who are some other producers that you've been working with? And what is that process like? How do you find people to work with, like as far as the production world?
Honestly, 2023 is my first. I keep saying my first.
There's but literally, fuck it.
I know it's a lot of firsts.
I love that.
I've honestly, 2023 was my first year where I just started venturing out. So I don't have a large roster of producers I'm going to potentially start working with. They come. There's a lot of people that want to work with me, but I haven't yet, done it yet. But when it comes to finding producers and things like that, I just honestly let it naturally happen. Like whether it be I'm meeting them and they ask to do music or they show me their music, their beats, and it's like, oh, well, let's work. It's like a natural vibe, or it's never me like going on Instagram searching.
Gotcha.
It's like things they come to me or they reach out or they see me at a show or they hear about me from this person and then they want to work with me, or I see them and it's like a natural. I like a lot of things that are natural and just like organic. So you said something about working with Clark.
No, I'm saying, like, I know you're like working like hand in hand with Clark on the production table. I was wondering if there's any other producers that.
Oh yeah, that's where I was going with.
You're good.
Yeah, so I've always stuck with one producer, Mike Kalombo, of course, who executive produced. But now I'm venturing out into working with more others, and that's also because not that I couldn't work with anybody else. It was just more like I'm very like I don't trust a lot of people with my sound, and when I found that right, so it's like when I have one person that knows my sound, has been curating it for this long, it's like I just put all my trust in that. So that's why a lot of the reason why I haven't just worked with any and everybody, but I think that's also cool too because I'm not just working with any and everybody, you know what I mean? So when you do work with me, it's going to be very special. So yeah, I think that this year is going to be a little bit more different sounds and different people I'm working with. I'm still even getting used to working with different people because I've just been working with one person for so long.
Talk about how you and one more time his name was
Mike Kalombo.
How did you guys link up?
How did me and Mike meet? Okay, so
You
I
gotta
was
talk about it.
right. I love you, Mike. So yeah, I was fresh out the girl group I was in at like 2014, and then I became solo, and I was very distraught because it was like I was out the group, and I was in a pause. I didn't know what I was doing. So my mom had actually reached out to Mike Kalombo. She found him at the time. You know, he was working with Jermaine Dupri, Monica, Usher. And he was working with all those people.
Some heavy hitters, by the way.
Right.
Some incredible.
Yes, I love all of them.
Yeah.
Yes. So she reached out to him in hopes of him reaching out. And he did. I remember she came to me. It was like, he didn't reply back yet. I said, leave a comment under his picture and say check DM. Like, just, and he actually ended up reaching back out in a few days.
Shout out to the people who check their DMs.
Right. Shout out to those people. So, I feel like it was God because during those moments I was actually praying for a person like that, and he actually came in my life, and I was Mike. So everything, all the characteristics, everything that I wanted in my life during that time, I prayed for it. So he ended up reaching back out to my mom. We set up a meeting, and he produced my first ever song solo was I Don't Need It. And that has like over 1 million views on YouTube. That was my first ever music video by myself.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like, I was like, 14 at the time? So ever since then, we just stuck together, and we just like had this like close-knit vibe, and we just he's created all the music you've ever heard of me, like literally. And we've been working, I've known him for 10 years.
I was gonna say, yeah, you said it's,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say your age out loud. But
I'm 23.
Okay, so yeah, 10 years.
Yes, I'll be 24 in 2 months, so almost 10 years. And I've met him through that, and over the course of years, we just recorded, and he's honestly like family to me now.
Shout out to your mom for like not only like reaching out and doing all the great like her due diligence, but like supporting you, because like again, I mentioned earlier, her mom came to the sound check and was very, very hands on, which was like I thought was super cool. Like not a lot of people have supportive parents in this journey, especially the musical one.
They have their moments.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say like they're all the way. I love my parents. Don't get me wrong, but they're not like. They have their moments. Like and I feel like maybe all parents do. So yes, I thank my mom for actually reaching out to him. But every parent has their moments of support.
Moments where they're like, "Yo, why aren't you doing this thing?"
Yeah, my dad especially. Yes, parents do that. Why aren't you doing this? Or you could be here at this moment. Like, well, why aren't you doing that? And a lot of people do that. But honestly, I stay true to myself, and I know where I'm going on this path, and it's honestly my journey. So whether or not my parents support or choose to support or not, like, I'm always going to be doing this. Because honestly, at 17, I stopped seeking validation from my my parents or my family. Like, yes, I love when they come to support me, but I don't seek it to become great or feel great inside. So, yes.
That's an amazing age to realize that, though. Like before you're an adult, to be like, fuck it. Like, all my only validation is me. Like, all I need is to know that I'm making incredible stuff.
No, yeah. It comes down, you're your worst critic, and you know yourself at the end of the day more than anybody else. So, honestly, I don't ever, and I'll show my parents or I'll show my family my music, but I try not to let it gauge me or move me into like, oh, I shouldn't do that song just because they don't like it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to continue to do what I want to do. So, yes, they're supportive sometimes. Sometimes they're not. So,
the duality of being a parent, I'd say.
Yeah, the duality.
Right. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about, which I feel like it has to be your favorite color, orange, because that was even the theme of, like, what you wore to the listening party. Even though I didn't go, I paid attention. I paid attention to the theme. It's the cover of the album. Talk about this. Is like orange the color for Outage in your opinion?
Honestly,
like,
yeah.
Tell us about this. Your love for this color. I know you're wearing it right
today. Honestly, orange is not my favorite color.
I was gonna say,
like that's so funny how I'm in the era of Outage, and it's funny because Outage starts with an O and orange is an O. I just came to terms with that. So yeah.
This is that journalism they be talking about.
Right. But honestly, yeah, orange is the color. If you want to give Outage a color, like Wise, when you listen to the music, it's giving orange to me because and honestly, it's fun fact, like that cover was red at first. But
really?
I feel like there's so many covers that I see that's red or it's just everything. I don't know. I always see red. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to make it orange. That was the color it was giving. Honestly, I used to hate the color orange. Like, I threw away everything that was orange in my closet at one point because I just didn't like orange.
Damn.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, orange, but, like, literally now I love it. Like, it's like, people tell me, oh, my God, it looks so good on you. Like, your skin color with orange. I'm like.
Might be your color.
Yeah, it might actually be my
Low-key.
color now. So, hey, I've been rocking orange for Outage, and I'm probably going to be wearing it all year because of Outage. So, I need to buy some more orange things, actually.
Stop throwing away your orange stuff, Taylor.
Yeah, I need to I've stopped. I'm trying to rack up. So anybody who got orange, send it my way.
You got orange merch. Tap in with Taylor Jasmine.
Yes.
She gonna rock it.
Oh yeah, I gotta work on my merch coming soon for you guys.
Yeah, we definitely need some merch.
Yes, soon come, you guys.
Nah, I can tell this is gonna be a really great year. Like you started it on like an incredible note, and it's only gonna get bigger and bigger.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm excited for this year. It just felt different. Like I know everyone be like, oh, new year, new me. It just new year. This year gonna be the one. No, I didn't feel that with 2023. I didn't say that year. 2024, I felt something like different, and even people need to watch who you bring in your year with too. Don't just be around anybody. I was around good, positive vibes and people for my new year, and it just felt like we started it off right. So I feel like it's important in how you start off your year, and it's gonna give the rest of the year like foreshadowing, something like that.
No, I mean you started the year off with a really great album. I'm gonna continue saying that. Please go listen to the album.
Thank you.
It's if you love R&B, you're gonna love it.
Yes.
And you started off with that. I feel like I'm just like as a fan and as a friend, I'm excited to just kind of see where the year goes for you when we sit back down like a year from now, because we're definitely gonna do like a sit down year and just kind of recap. What is the one thing that you need to accomplish in 2024 that we're gonna look back and be like, yo, I did that thing I said I would.
Oh my God.
Pressure's on you. Go.
I never even thought that far out.
You have to. You gotta set a goal
right now. What is one thing I want to accomplish? I want to throw my first concert by myself.
Like headlining your own concert?
Yeah, I've never done that. I'm always a part of other people's concerts or their things. I've never headlined my own and had my own acts and had a full. I want to sell out my own concert. I think that's one goal I want to do. And if a lot of people came to my listening party, I think I could do it.
I know you can do it. Let's plan it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. You're gonna host.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, so
whatever you want.
Yes, let's do it.
No, absolutely. You did a dope concert. So I would be honored to host your show. We're speaking to existence now. You're seeing it. I don't know what today's date is, but on today's date, Taylor Jasmine said she's gonna do a show in 2024, and she's gonna pack that bitch out.
Yeah,
I know you're gonna pack it out.
No, we're gonna pack it out,
and you're gonna have really great acts on it, and it's gonna be one of the best shows of the year.
No, yes, and I honestly. Like, I want to make the show cool. Like, I like visuals. Like, when you walk into stuff, like, I just want to, maybe because I'm a Pisces, I don't know. Like, I just like things that look just cool when you walk in. Like, I want it to be like you feel like you somewhere else. You're not just at a venue watching a show. That's what I want. So, and I want everybody to just
You want to provide an experience.
Yeah, I want to give it experience.
The outage experience.
Yes, the outage experience. You're right. That's going to be dope. I actually have to start doing that and planning it.
Spoken to existence. You got to do it now.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold you to it. It's going to be like, what are we, in January
now? Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
It's going to be like May, and I'm going to be like, yo, how's that show coming?
I know.
Like, you need help? Like, what's up? Like,
you're right. I need to actually do that. Yeah, that's one of my goals.
I love it.
Sell at my first show. That's cool.
Now you're going to do it. It's going to happen. Like, you will sell at your first show. That's the sentence you got to say.
Yeah, I will. Honestly, yeah.
You're going to do it. You heard Troy? She's going to do it. She's going to sell at her own show. You going to be there?
You're going to be there. Yeah. Everyone. I'm going to invite everybody I know.
As you should. That's what you should.
I always, everybody. My school teachers from, like, back when they didn't, like me back then. That was my principals. Everybody.
That's another thing I admire about you. I feel like you're not too cool to, like just seeing, like, being on shows with you and just seeing how much you push your music. Like, you're not scared to promote. I feel like that's one thing a lot of, like, artists now, they're, like, kind of too cool to do shit. Like, you'll post a flyer a million times. You will repost a song. Like, that's one thing I do admire about you. Like, I can tell you really believe in this thing that you're doing, therefore you're going to share it. Like, talk about this not being too cool for this.
Honestly, I had to learn that, and I also think, again, Mike, he told me to be that way, because honestly, I used to be that artist. I'll promote my things here and there, but then you hear other people's music on my story. Like, it's kind of a distraction, or it's kind of confusing when you're trying to take an artist seriously and you keep hearing other people's music. Not even just reposting someone else's music as if, like, you're congratulating. I'm talking about just artists that are out there and you keep hearing other people's music on a story and you're supposed to be an artist coming up. I think that's very important to lessen that and really promote your music. Who cares if you're playing your same song on your story 10 million different times? You're promoting. That's your music. So I feel like, yes, you should never be too cool to post your music a million times or do a video to that same song a million different times. So So I'm never gonna stop promoting my music, and I've actually just learned the essence of that, or the just importance of that, like last year, that I'm gonna like promote this heavy and not feel like, oh, I'm promoting it too much. There's never such thing as promoting it too much.
I agree.
As artists, you need to never stop repeating yourself.
And it's just one of those things, like you said, it's like you can post it 10 million times. So there's always going to be one person who just has not heard this song.
Exactly.
Some people just don't have the bandwidth to listen to things all the time.
Exactly.
And you just never really know who's gonna who you're gonna introduce to your music. Like,
Exactly.
someone follows you and you're just like, oh shit, like she's really great. Like
Exactly. And people need to take you seriously as well. And they want to see, it's just like a commercial. You keep seeing something, the same thing, same times, a million times. You're like, all right, let me go listen.
Let me check it
let
out at this
Let me
point,
listen
yeah.
to this girl. She keeps or this orange outage cover. Let me go check her out because I keep seeing it. Or it's just like a commercial. Or you just see food, something like a new place, like anything you keep seeing. It's just subconsciously you're gonna want to check it out at some point. So I think that yes, there's such thing as an overkill. I wouldn't say like post your cover like 10 posts at, like in this one day.
I would definitely say have social media.
Yeah, like have etiquette.
Yeah, for sure. But like,
So, yeah.
I do appreciate just like, again, like, you know, I run a hip hop blog and like I've been working with artists for such a long time. It's just like there are people who you just know like, no, she's gonna promote the thing that she puts out, and that's great because I feel like it makes you want to check it out. It's like, yo, you keep putting this album up, I'm gonna check it out. Whether we're doing an interview or not, it's because like the way you're promoting it, the way you roll it out, it's like I can tell you care about this product that you.
No, I do. I care about this product, and I want people who are around me in my life to care about it too. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what makes or break a valuable person as well that's in your life, whether and how hard they support it as well.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But Taylor, I want to thank you for doing this. This was like, we've had this planned for a little bit, like right around the album. I'm glad we finally got it done. I'm glad I got to like, I've seen you a million times in passing. This is the first time we've actually got to sit down and like converse.
Right.
I want to say I appreciate your energy. I appreciate what you're bringing to music, and I really love the album. So thank you so much for doing this, Kickin' It.
Thank you.
Of course.
I enjoyed kicking it with you today.
Anytime. Before we leave, is there anything else that you want to say to the people who are listening? Is there anything that we didn't get to say? This is your moment.
I don't know. I feel like we really touched it all. Everybody who's watching this, please go stream my album. That's all I would want from you, to really stream my music and to play it from back to front to back. Tell all your friends about it. Tell them to download it. And look out for new merch soon. I'll be posting that soon. And just enjoy life. I love you guys. And follow me on Instagram at Cravetay, CraveTay. I'm sure it's going to be somewhere.
Yeah, we're going to put it there.
Yeah, love you guys. And I thank you so much for having me.
Anytime.
It was so much fun.
Anytime.
Yes.
This was fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. This was another episode of Kickin' It with Coog. I'm Coog. I got to work on like an outro. We're going to work on that together. But yeah, thank you guys for kicking it with me. This was great. Shout out to Culture Lab. Shout out to Rockstar.
Yes.
Like the unofficial like collab today. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Rockstar. Drink some.
Yes, and shout out to Culture Lab. We're here.
Shout out to Culture Lab. Shout out to Justice. Shout out to Clark D. Shout out to all the great people. Every time I'm in this building, it's great energy. So shout out to this place for real.
A lot of
Really
great
happy
artists.
I got one in here. Thank you.
Yes, bye.